Well, there are many fans of the captain, Jason Varitek, in the stands at Fenway Park. He has left because of an injury, however, but the Red Sox do have a 6-5 lead after a big home run for Willie Mo Pena. He has 3 RBIs tonight, has a triple to boot. And so David Wells, despite not pitching terribly well in his return to the Red Sox rotation, he gets 3 outs in this inning. The Red Sox up 6-5. He qualifies for the win. Grady Sizemore leading things off. He is 0 for 2 to a 301 with 16 home runs. He does strike out frequently, and he takes a strike here. 0-2. Mirabelli.
It's like he was crossed up on both of those pitches. He shook his head after the first one. Now he's coming to the mound saying, hey, I know you're 43, but can you see the difference between a 1 and a 2? Yeah, we're having fun with it. I mean, there's a couple of characters right there. They're a blast to be around in the clubhouse. Mirabelli is saying, hey, you can mess me up that way. If I give you a fastball and you throw a breaking ball, I can adjust. Don't go the other way or you're going to get somebody hurt.
You know, Wells might have said, you know what, I would have made it a triple. I would have gone from second to third. First time I've ever seen a ball roll to 420 at Fenway and no one had a triple on it.
You know, my old catcher Jody Davis with the Cubs, there's a lot of times I'd either shake him off too much or I'd miss a pitch or something. He'd say, you know what, just throw it. I can catch whatever you throw anyway. He wouldn't even give me sign. He'd just say throw it. And he'd usually catch it.
Kind of like to see Wells and Mirabelli in a foot race. Here comes the 0-2. That's inside. Or maybe I wouldn't.
You want to be here all night? Huh?
Well, the Red Sox getting home runs on the same night from Manny Ramirez and Big Papi David Ortiz, not to mention Willie Mo Pena. Off-speed ground ball to the middle. Cora ranging behind the bag. Guns a strike. And Sizemore is 0 for 3. Now, we talked about Varitek leaving the game. So unusual, Aaron Andrews, in the third inning because of an injury. What's the latest on Varitek?
Well, nothing definitive. Red Sox haven't said anything, but I'm down here by the Sox dugout right now, OB, and what I am hearing is a knee strain. And you had mentioned throughout the broadcast he's been dealing with injuries all over. Now on Saturday, I do know he took a good shot to that knee while he was blocking the plate, and like you mentioned, Jason Varitek doesn't leave the game. We've seen trainers come up and talk to Terry Francona, so you got to think it can't be that good.
Well, here's another look as he went into second base and clearly twisted something or tweaked something, and it's like a knee strain of some kind. Francona still talking with the trainer, probably about Varitek, getting the update.
And you know, with the captain, it's a significant strain. There's not, just a little cramp or just a little pull or anything like that would have gotten him out of here.
That went off the glove of Mike Lowell. Now he has to turn tail and go chase it. Cora runs it down in the outfield. Michaels heading into second now as the throw is high and into right. And the Red Sox, who have been tremendous defensively all season, play some Keystone Cops baseball here in the fifth inning.
You know, with the great plays we've seen tonight with Mike Lowell, this very easily could go as 2 errors against the American League's best team. There's a ground ball there off his glove, a play that he could have made. I think it was a tough play. To me, I would have given that a base hit. But then this has to be an error. He overthrows Loretta at second. Pena in there to back up, but there's no way he could get the ball back to keep the runner from advancing.
So it goes a single from Michaels on that hot shot off the glove of Lowell, but an error has to be charged, as you mentioned, to Cora for overthrowing everything and into right field to allow Michaels to move up 90 feet. And that'll bring up Travis Hafner.
Just a lot of offense for Cleveland. They had only scored 6 runs in the last 4 games that they had played.
Hafner with an RBI double his last time up. Swings hard and comes up empty for strike 1, although they have scored a lot of runs in Paul Bird's starts. Have been averaging almost 7 runs per game. Second highest average run support in the major leagues this season.
It's not always how you pitch, but when you pitch.
Boston on top 6-5. But the Indians can score 2. Michaels at second. And Wells left it up high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Michaels acts like he's trying to steal third base here, but I think more than messing with the pitcher David Wells, he's got Travis Hafner kind of watching him out of the corner of his eye. A lot of big RBIs, guys will just say, just stay there. I'll get you in.
And he certainly does that. Hafner trying for his 3rd straight season of at least 28 home runs and 100 runs batted in while hitting 300. At the moment at 297, so still a little bit of work to do there. Now at 86 runs batted in.
You know, in talking with the front office of the Cleveland Indians today, this is his team, that being Travis Hafner, and he's expected to be the leader as they go forward right now. A little tough at times to figure out the direction right now that they are going. He is supposed to be there and be that presence in the clubhouse.
On the outside corner, and that time it was the hitter's response. It was a little weird for C.B. Buckner, but the Red Sox errors and how good they've been, how few they've made this year. Adding to that total, number 37. And Hafner in the top 6 in each of those categories. Look at that combination of on-base percentage and slugging percentage, and he's off the charts.
OPS again.
Michaels at second, 1 out. Here comes the 1-2 from Boomer Wells. Ground ball pulled along first, up with it Youkilis. He'll take it himself. And down to third, moves the runner Michaels. First baseman unassisted, and there are 2 down in front of Victor Martinez.
David Wells doing just what he had to do there. The defense letting him down a little bit there. It was a hustle play on the part of Cora, but nonetheless put a runner in scoring position. This crowd realizes right now this is a big win, an opportunity to go up a full game on the New York Yankees. And you know the Yankees are going to take the field tomorrow night with a lot of confidence with the acquisitions that they have made. 87 pitches now for Wells in his return to the rotation. Pitching for the first time since May 26th for Boston. So just 9 pitches in the 4th inning. You know, this could be the last batter tonight as well. Casey Blake in the on-deck circle has 2 RBIs already, one of them coming on a homer.
Martinez swings and misses. Strike 1 to him. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Activity again in the Boston Red Sox bullpen. It's Snyder one more time. We said earlier, will not be able to be the starting pitcher tomorrow night.
The Red Sox fans might be looking at Snyder and saying, well, did he jump into the body of Bronson Arroyo? Or certainly the hairstyle?
Good call. Good call.
The 0-1 is down low for a ball on Martinez.
Well, he was a big prospect for the Kansas City Royals, and an assortment of arm injuries. You know, great stuff once again, but has just never been able to put it together at this level.
You wonder if he can play the guitar the way Arroyo can. Here's the 1-1.
Anybody can.
Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
It was about this time last year, right at the All-Star break. We got to go to that concert that he performed. Big benefit, a big crowd, the place to be.
David Wells tonight trying to survive the 5th inning and keep that 6-5 lead. Has a chance for his 228th career win. Check swing by Martinez. The appeal to the first base umpire, John Hirschbeck, says no swing.
You don't see that much emotion out of a guy like David Wells if he doesn't realize. I mean, he needs every break that he can get tonight. He really wanted that to be called strike 2, the 2-2 count, instead of this 3-1 count, knowing Snyder's ready in the bullpen and he's struggled with Blake in the on-deck circle. It's going to be a tough call for Terry Francona if he walks Victor Martinez.
Would be his 2nd walk of the evening. The 3-1 pitch. Pinned to the outside corner. Strike 3 and 2.
He's doing just what he has to do, boy. Take a look at this. K-zone there. Perfect on the outside corner. Even with a 3-1 count and an opportunity to maybe have to come out of the game, he's still able to locate that fastball, but he's got to do it again.
Well, the crowd at Fenway sensing the importance of this pitch. Down and in. He walked him. Wells passes on his 2nd hitter of the night. Johnny Peralta took a walk back in the 2nd inning. So they're on the corners. Francona staying inside the dugout. And Snyder reaching for a water bottle. Let's go back to Casey Blake in the second inning and why there's so much concern here.
Well, and this is all about respect. And as you mentioned, an opportunity to win the 228th game of his career. Snyder's ready. If that's Timlin down there, or if that's Hanson, somebody that has had success out of the bullpen, David Wells would not be in this spot. I'll tell you, the most nervous guy right now in all of Boston is Terry Francona.
Is he making the right move by sticking with the 43-year-old lefty? Here's Blake. And he takes a knee-high strike. A home run. He's also driven in another run with a sacrifice fly. That was in the third inning.
You know, the thing is, David has not thrown bad this inning. He got a ground ball from Sizemore, another ground ball by Michaels that went for a base hit, and then an error. He got a ground ball from Hafner. That was a great battle with him and Martinez, but the catcher, the first baseman tonight, got away.
He has retired 8 out of the last 10. There's a swing and a high fly ball left field. Manny Ramirez racing back. Crisp racing back. They're looking up. That one is gone. Another home run for Casey Blake. This one really stings, and it backfires on Francona. The 14th home run of the season for Casey Blake, who has owned David Wells tonight. And this shot makes it 8-6.
This really, really hurts for a lot of reasons. One, Terry Francona's mind told him to go get David Wells, but his heart kept him there in the dugout. Hanging breaking ball once again, missing the location that David Wells needed, and just clearing the green monster.
A 3-run shot, and this one ripped into left center field for a base hit by Peralta. And that has to be it for Boomer Wells tonight. And here comes Francona. Just a couple of batters too late, as it turns out. So Francona wanted to give the 20-year veteran every opportunity to come away with a win, and instead Wells leaves down 8-6 here in the 5th inning. We'll be back in a moment. Fenway, the Red Sox fans have to hang in there. They're certainly doing that. They just saw David Wells get knocked off the hill, giving up 8 runs on 8 hits. Moments ago, a 3-run homer off the bat of Casey Blake. And giving way to the man who has taken off waivers from Kansas City in the middle of June, the right-hander Kyle Snyder.
You know, he's got a lot of potential. He's going to be 29 years old in September. You take a look at the numbers there. Stymied for years with arm problems for the Kansas City Royals, claimed on waivers on the 16th of June. Brought over here to be a number 5 type starter, maybe a long type reliever for Boston. They really need him to step up now and throw a couple of scoreless innings.
He's been hit hard, as we have shown you, a .366 average against. Fly ball lifted in right center field, moving on over Willie Pena. So is Coco Crisp, and they nearly collide. And a catch is made by the center fielder, Coco Crisp, and the side is retired. Casey Blake, though, with 3 more RBIs, he has 5 in the game. And the Red Sox nearly had a big accident, one brewing here. We are at the midway point, and already the score is 8-6 Cleveland. The ball flying out of Fenway the last night of July. 9 hits for Boston, yet they are on the short end of it. Not a good night to be a starting pitcher, because both starters are out of this thing. Paul Byrd has been lifted now after 4 innings and giving way to the 6'6" right-hander Jason Davis.
Just recalled 10 days ago down there in that bullpen, which was the best bullpen in the American League a year ago. But for manager Eric Wedge, there were some different names. There was a Bobby Howry. There was an Arthur Rhodes. There used to be a Bob Wickman down there. David Risky. But some new names and obviously some different results for their pitching staff this year.
Davis comes in and immediately greeted by the heart of the Red Sox order. So how do you do? Big Papi David Ortiz, who's cracked a home run. Manny Ramirez will follow. He's belted a home run. And then Mike Lowell, the top doubles hitter in the majors.
Terry Francona nails it well. I mean, Eric Wedge, he saw what happened with Paul Byrd, Ortiz, and Manny, the first 2 hitters of the inning, both hit homers. Terry Francona knew that Casey Blake had also hit a homer in his first at bat. And he had to sit there and watch him hit one in his 3rd at bat off of David Wells tonight.
Well, Wedge kind of like the radar gun reading there on Davis there. He does throw hard. 99 on that fastball. And Ortiz and Ramirez both home in the same game as they have tonight. The Red Sox, as you would expect, win a lot. Foul tipped off the catcher.
You know, just looking at that score, this is a game that crushes you as a starting pitcher. My daddy, you're my pappy.
Maybe your American League MVP.
Sitting on his daddy's lap. I tell you what, it's you know, him, Jeter, as always, it's going to come down to not only who gets into the playoffs, but who does what in September.
0-2, high topper, first base side. Martinez leaves the bag, flips to Davis, who gets there in time. And Ortiz is out, one away here in the fifth for Boston.
Look pretty good over there at first base. Martinez, as we know, the catcher for the most part. With Kelly Shopik doing the catching tonight, and as he will against left-handed pitching, Martinez at first comes and gets it, and then look at him. All of a sudden he turns, angles his body to give a nice high toss to a big pitcher. There you go. You got to find the ball, then you got to find the bag, and you got to get your foot out of the way of Big Papi.
Just the 12th time Martinez has started a game over there at first base after all those at catcher.
Well, and you remember too when he was in the minor leagues, a shortstop, and he didn't want to make the change to catcher. He wanted to go home. His mom told him to stick around. You know, you can't go home. You've got to stay there. And you know what? Watching him today, I truly think it's not the thing. You know, that's not the problem that he had. He was just slow with his footwork. He realizes that. And, you know, more importantly for me, Martinez realized he wants to work at it to get better at it.
So you think he can save himself as a catcher?
I think he can. What I saw today, I mean, he looked like he should throw out the runners that he has a chance to throw out.
Manny Ramirez 1 for 2 with a home run. Fouls that one away to the right. Number 29 for Manny in the first inning. And 464 his career. Remember, he's only 34 years old. So 228 of those home runs in a Red Sox uniform. Oftentimes not his actual uniform. The parts of that uniform he has liberally borrowed from teammates throughout the clubhouse.
Guys will come in and complain about their bat, and then he'll take it up there and get a hit with it.
They'll complain about their pants. And Manny's running around in the outfield wearing those, or socks, or spikes. Could be almost anything. Still quite fashionable in his 16-game hitting streak. Check swing, and that one off of the home plate umpire, C.B. Buckner. And he got a piece of the home plate man who has seen some curious looks from pitchers tonight, but a hitter got him here.
Yeah, I got an arm here. Look at that, right off that left arm. That bicep's going to be barking tomorrow. He got a lot of padding on. He got them all over his knees, his shoes. See the face mask, the chest protector, but there was nothing there but arm.
So a foul tip, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And then you see there on the left sleeve.
He's changing the call now. He's going to 3-1, claiming there was no foul tip there. That was the conversation with Shopik. And so the count 3-1. I certainly heard a foul tip off of Manny Ramirez's bat on that deflection. Cuts and misses there, and the count 3-2.
That would be over with without the count going to 3-1. Just noticing that, the patch on the umpire's arm. We've talked about it before. That, of course, honoring Eric Gregg, a longtime Major League umpire. Eric Gregg, a pitcher's best friend.
Well, one of baseball's best friends, too. 3-2, lofted into right, down into that corner. Here comes Blake, charging hard. He one-hands it. 2 down. We peek at Game Track now, and highlights of how he got to this point. 8-6. Blake with a couple of home runs in this one, already up to 4 RBIs. David Welsh shaking his head. He did that a lot tonight before he got lifted. Short outing, just 4 2/3 in his return. Manny Ramirez helping the Red Sox come back, however, with his 29th home run of the season. A deep blast. Big Papi, first ball swinging, drills one out to right field as he continues a tremendous season with his 36th home run. And by the way, 102 runs batted in. Here's Mike Lowell looking at a strike. Red Sox have scored in every inning at least one run. But on the verge of going down 1-2-3 at the hand of Jason Davis.
Well, they were scoring off a guy that was throwing 86 miles an hour, though. Right now they're trying to score off a guy that's throwing 96 miles an hour. And just proved there that he could throw a breaking ball near home plate. See all of the offense there. Well, normally 6 runs scored in the first 4 innings for Boston. David Wells on the mound. That would have been a win.
Here's Peralta up and over. Got him. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox. For the first time on this one. Is it settling down? Eric Wedge hopes so. The Indians at Fenway Park in Boston, where they start the fans really, really young. And cute as a button to boot. It is 8-6 Cleveland. And a big night for Casey Blake with a pair of home runs for the Indians.
They don't even realize how lucky they are to get a ticket into this beautiful ballpark these days.
So with this great string of sellouts at Fenway Park and a refurbishment of this ballpark. Shopik to lead things off, and he takes a strike. When you think about it, it won't be that long before Fenway Park in 2012 turns 100 years old. And I know the Red Sox not that long ago held an All-Star game here, but what a perfect time it would be to have the All-Star game at Fenway during its 100th birthday celebration. And look at our Scott's Field Facts about Fenway Park. I mean, by now you probably know everything there is to know about Fenway, but the Green Monster is 37 feet high. Didn't matter to Manny Ramirez earlier tonight. One of 2 stadiums with manual scoreboards. And turned out there, filed away by Shopik. Wrigley Field is the other.
You know what really changed things here at Fenway, though, was 18 months ago when Larry Lucchino, Mike D, Sam Kennedy, their staff, made the announcement that we're staying here. We're not going to knock this place down. We're not going to build a new ballpark. We are going to preserve and protect the park. And not only as we look at John Henry there, the ballpark and what goes on here, but, Obi, I know you know the neighborhood as well.
Swing and a miss. Shopik chases and he strikes out. He's cracked a 2-run double tonight, but also struck out 2 times. Now here's a SportsCenter in-game update. We join Bill Pito. Bill.
Our day Twins coming in 1 game behind the White Sox, a game and a half behind the Yanks in the wild card race. Josh Gravy called up in mid-July. The DH 3-run shot, 2nd homer of the year. Twins playing great baseball. Rangers struggling. They're down 8-0 right now in the top of the 3rd.
And the Rangers so active in the trade market, but certainly not paying off tonight against those red-hot Twins. Marte takes one inside for a ball. And so you were talking about it before we went to Bill Pito there, about everything the Red Sox as an organization have done, not only inside Fenway Park, but outside Fenway, to take a ballpark that is nearly 100 years old and make it feel like a brand new stadium in a neighborhood that hadn't had one before. The Red Sox as an organization are buying real estate properties right around Fenway and turning those into a great place to come, more restaurants and shops and that sort of thing. That's going to happen over the next several years. You see that when new ballparks are built in older neighborhoods like the Fens here. But I mean, this area of Boston, not a lot has been done to it or with it since 1912. When Fenway was first built. Well, this organization is changing it.
I got to admit, when I used to come back here in the early 80s and the early 90s again, this was one of the few ballparks where I was afraid to eat the clubhouse food.
Really?
And you know, you can tell I like to eat, man. I'm not there with John Kruk, but I'm not far behind. But this place, it was just filthy. I mean, you were afraid to touch anything. You didn't want to go anywhere. But when you walk around this ballpark now, what they've done right below us, I think it's called the EMC section now. I mean, it's as nice of a skybox as there is anywhere in baseball. The seats they've added out there at the Green Monster. You were talking about some of your friends, you know, that had the opportunity to sit out there. It's almost like you're playing left field. And then you go down to the Hall of Fame section down there, the right field line. I mean, out there, that right over that table there, that #1 table, known as the Mike D table. I'm telling you what, I've never been in any ballpark anywhere with a better view than what you have right there.
It's phenomenal. I mean, the food is terrific, and I mean, it sounds like a sales pitch to come to Fenway, but good luck getting a ticket anyway. I mean, with the incredible run of sellouts here, but it has become the event throughout the summer. Every single day the Red Sox are in town in New England.
And when I think of sellouts, that guy has a lot to do with it. 455 consecutive sellouts when he was with the Cleveland Indians at Jacobs Field. He was a big part of that. And he's a big part of why all these people come out here right now. Granted, I mean, he's a part of what goes on between the lines. There's a lot more that we've just talked about, that go on outside the lines. But, well, with Manny Ramirez, you're going to have a good lineup. You're going to score runs.
Grady Sizemore 0 for 3 in the contest. Bangs that one foul to the right. He is lined out to right. Grounded back to the pitcher and also grounded out to short. Manny Ramirez with a long home run tonight.
He's won a batting title. He's won a home run title. He's won a World Series MVP. If he just cared at all about the media, I mean, how many other awards would have come his way? The fans still love him. I mean, whether he shows up at the All-Star game or not, they're going to vote him in. He's just he's so much fun to watch when he's at home plate.
And see what he did in the 2004 World Series, winning the MVP as the Red Sox famously swept the St. Louis Cardinals. The Red Sox stars and battles with the written press here in Boston are legendary. Foul off to the right. Certainly Ted Williams, who refer to the media in Boston as the Knights of the Keyboard, did not get along very well with the newspaper men. Jim Rice had his battles here over the years, and he managed to win an MVP, although he has been denied entry into the Hall of Fame. And get a lot of opinions as to whether Jim Rice belongs in the Hall. That one, fastball missing up high on Sizemore.
There were a lot of people getting ready to write their opinions in the Red Sox clubhouse today, too. I thought it was Game 7 of the World Series, all of the people that were waiting on not only Terry Francona, but Theo Epstein as well.
And the Red Sox still with a half-game lead over the Yankees, lest we forget, in first place, fouled away by Sizemore.
You know what, though, Dave? I honestly feel like they kind of wanted to wait and see what they were going to get with David Wells. And being honest, he's had a great career, 227 wins, all of the postseason success. But what we saw tonight was not good. I mean, he did not fool anybody. He walked people. He gave up a lot of line drives just like that. And there has to be concern right now on their part. Whether you add offense or not, they need to add pitching.
A look at our Office Depot pitching summary. Both starters are gone. Bird, after 4 innings, 9 hits and 6 earned. We talked about Wells, 4 2/3. All 8 of those runs were earned as he made his first start since May 26th, coming back from that right knee injury. 96 pitches. Also walked 2 men.
Well, the biggest problem was he just kept giving up the lead. They gave him a 2-0 lead. He gave up 3 in the second. They went ahead in the bottom of the second, 4-3. He gave up 2 in the third. They tied it in the bottom of the third. They gave him the lead in the bottom of the fourth. But tonight he couldn't hold it.
Michaels pops that one foul out of play. And, of course, Francona gave him every opportunity to pull out a win tonight despite getting hit hard, when he allowed him to face Casey Blake, who had already homered and drove in another run with a sacrifice fly, with 2 men on in the 5th inning and 2 men out. Wells had 1 more out to get to qualify for the win. At the time, he had a 1-run lead, and he gave up a 3-run homer over the Green Monster.
He's wanting to go.
Sizemore not running here, and the pitch misses up high on Michaels.
But just the threat right there that he might go, I think, made Snyder a little bit out of sync. He held the ball a little bit longer than he did the first pitch. And as he went to home plate, his body got out there, but his arm couldn't catch up, and he missed with ball 1. That's a baseball player right there, ladies and gentlemen. We got a shot of that play he made over the weekend. They're 24.5 games out. He went right back out on Sunday in the 2nd inning and made another great diving play in the gap in right center field.
And Grady will be 24 years old on Wednesday. Looks like a star for years to come. 2 down. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. The runner holding, and it's fouled away. Sizemore with good power, good speed.
Here's why you want to hit in this spot right here. You got the speed at first. You got the protection with Hafner in the on-deck circle. Take a look at where this fastball was. Nationwide giving us a good look at what should have been another home run. Of for the Cleveland Indians. I mean, you got to want to hit second for the Cleveland Indians for the next 10 years with the two guys that you have in front and behind them.
Sizemore, the leadoff man on. Hafner. And a close play. You're snapping down that tag, but Sizemore gets back in. But barely.
He was going. He was going. Take a look at him leaning there. He just couldn't quite get turned back to begin with. But the tag was up under the armpit, and the hand had already gotten to the base.
Now, this was supposed to be the season that the Indians really challenged for supremacy in the American League Central, and instead Cleveland, a surprising disappointment. They're buried in 4th place, 24.5 games behind the Detroit Tigers after winning 93 games last season. When Cleveland really came on, runner holding, and it's fouled away again by Michaels. So they've gone from that spirited run to second place last year to dazed and confused in 2006.
Well, just look at that. I mean, last year, Cleveland Indians won 93 games. Not going to get close to that this year. The Tigers already with 70 wins, and don't forget about Ron Gardenhire's club.
Twins winning big again tonight so far. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. The runner takes off. Check swing. Here's the throw down to second. Not in time. And Sizemore with a stolen base, his 17th. But now at home plate, Jason Michaels is called out on strikes. So he fans, and that is out number 3. The side is retired. We'll take another look at how Michaels indeed struck out as he tried to hold up. They ruled that he went.
Fifth season, now available on DVD.
On a lovely night here in Boston, Massachusetts, our score is the Cleveland Indians 8 and the Boston Red Sox 6. The hits are dead even at 9 apiece. On a night where every seat is taken at Fenway. It's not exactly a headline. It'll be Mirabelli, Crisp, and Willie Mo Pena against the right-hander Jason Davis, who has hit 99 miles an hour a couple of times on the radar gun since coming on for Bird, the starter, who's only around for 4 innings. Mirabelli had to come on to relieve Varitek, who tweaked a knee. We'll get further reports on that hopefully later this evening, but the Red Sox captain had to come out because of a knee injury. Mirabelli with a double, and his only at bat so far tonight in the 3rd inning. So he's 1 for 1.
Well, it was a knee that we were concerned about when this game started, but not that of Jason Varitek. It was the injured knee of starting pitcher David Wells.
Davis fires, cut on and missed. A late swing there by Mirabelli. Our look again presented by Holiday Inn, and it is that look at the injury to Varitek.
Oh, it was a ground ball that was hit behind him, and he just didn't know whether he was going to continue on to third base if the ball got past Luna or whether he needed to hold up. And when he looked back, it's almost like walking downstairs in the dark. He couldn't see the bag, and he reached for it, and that knee was already injured. I mean, he's not going to tell us that, but it's been hurting.
I mean, that fastball at 100 to blow away Mirabelli. Caught looking for strike 3. So Davis hits triple digits. Time for a SportsCenter in-game update. Back to the studio and Bill Fido. Bill.
All right, Dave. White Sox coming in a half game behind the idle Yanks in the wild card tonight, taking on Kansas City. Alex Cintron going deep. Joe Crudi has also gone deep. Chicago all over KC 8-3 in the top of the 4th.
Hi, Bill. Thank you very much. Here's Coco Crisp. A perfect night going. He's 2 for 2 as he fouls that one away. Kind of an odd ending, by the way, to the top of the 6th inning, with Sizemore, as Sut had predicted, taking off trying to steal second. Had it stolen, but at home plate, Jason Michaels trying to check his swing. Did not, in the eye of the first base umpire, John Hirschbeck. They appealed to Hirschbeck, who ruled that Michaels had swung the bat, so that was strike 3. As this fastball goes right by everything at 99.
Well, obviously, yeah, as we look at Hirschbeck, he's making the call there. Obviously, C.B. Buckner did not say anything immediately when it happened. If he goes strike, he went. Doug Mirabelli doesn't throw down to second. But he did not say anything. The throw went down there. And then all of a sudden he looked up.
Broken bat here, came off right at the handle. Little roller to Luna, throws on to get crisp. That play goes 4-3, and the bat goes flying off the first base side.
Let me tell you something. This is flat out overpowering an outstanding Boston Red Sox lineup.
Well, let's see what Davis can do with Willie Mo Pena. There's been all sorts of trouble tonight. This is power against power here.
Well, this is either going to be a strikeout or it could be an all-time record for the furthest ball ever hit.
Pena cranked one onto the street over the Green Monster in the fourth inning. That was after raking a 2-run triple in the second. And he took a swing there on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, you take a little off to get ahead in the count.
That was the off speed.
Yes.
A little change of pace.
We've seen him throw harder than that.
And Willie Mo Pena could get around on a fastball. 2 up, 2 down from the 6'6" right-hander. And he misses outside. Here's a look at his home run in the fourth.
Not 99 miles an hour as that last pitch was. You see just a little breaking ball. The problem for Paul Byrd all night long, missing his location. Willie Mo Pena did not miss anything.
Willie Mo getting a chance to play with Nixon on the disabled list now. Fouls that one away.
You know, Paul Byrd was an all-star in '99, the game that you were talking about, played here at Fenway. He didn't get into the ball game, but he had his mom and dad here. And, you know, we know how crowded it can be with the great restaurants here in Boston. Paul Byrd had no problems getting reservations to eat dinner in Boston.
How come?
Well, his dad's first name is Larry.
So Larry Byrd made all the reservations
in Boston.
Yeah,
you have him make that call.
Got the best table in the house. I see how that works. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, Larry Bird, the legendary Larry Bird of the Celtics,
not that guy,
is spelled differently. This Bird is B-Y-R-D, but you don't mention that when you make the resume. You conveniently forget the spelling.
Pull out the driver's license. I told you I'm Larry Bird. Let me sit down. I'm hungry.
And here's the 2-2. Just a little bit low at 99. Let's see if K-Zone thought it was a strike.
I think he missed. Take a look at the outside corner. There's a glove sitting off the plate. He didn't miss by much. And boy, when you can throw that hard at the knees and move your fastball around, you got a chance to be something good.
Bases clean, 2 down. Cleveland on top, 8-6. Line shot into right field, and of course Blake had to play extremely deep with Willie Mo Pena up there, so drops in for his 3rd hit. And wouldn't it be something if Willie Mo Pena, getting into the lineup on an everyday basis now with Ron Nixon out, hits for the cycle? He's a double away from it now.
Well, he may need that double for them to come back. There he comes back with a strike. 99 miles an hour. No chance to pull that pitch, but really a nice piece of hitting again, as he did with the triple, going to the opposite field. Something that Willie Mo Pena has not done a lot of in his career. How about him? He's hitting 320 coming into play tonight, and add 3 for 3 to that.
Yep, triple, home run, and a single. They'll send up Alex Cora, the shortstop. He's 0 for 2. So the Red Sox into double figures in hits. They have 10 now to Cleveland's 9.
I think Cora's one of those guys that every team needs. The versatility that he has, the personality he has for the clubhouse. I mean, there's a spot. He's ahead in the count. He's not going to hit many homers. He hasn't hit any this year. But he takes a swing right there. If they connect, he could have hit that ball out. Knows the situation. They're down by 2. Now he's just got to try to get on base here, turn the lineup over, and get it back to the top for Kevin Youkilis.
Youkilis on deck. Hitless tonight, 0 for 3. Cora looking for his first hit with Willie Mo Pena at first. Waved down and missed. There's the off speed at 90. You go from 100 to 90, and that is a serious change of pace.
We were talking about that before the game with the TV guy, Rick Manning with Cleveland and Jerry Remy with Boston. How are these guys throwing 100? 20 years ago, throwing hard was 90.
Another squib foul off to the left.
Now 90, as you look at it there on the score, and now that's a changeup for some, not all, not most.
Three or four guys in the big leagues right now throwing 100 miles at least.
And there's a couple of them down there in that Boston Red Sox bullpen.
Davis at 6'6" can certainly bring it. Only one strikeout so far in an inning and 2/3, but giving up the one hit just moments ago to Willie Mo Pena. Cora very tough to strike out. That's up high for a ball. 2-2.
Wanted to come in. I'm not real sure that I would have set in here. When him throwing that hard, just something right down the middle at that velocity. I agree with being up a little bit. When you come in where he has no chance to swing at it, that pitch really doesn't have the effect or get the result that you're looking for.
Got him. Caught him looking. Cora thought it was wide, but it's strike 3 in the second K in that inning for Jason Davis. When we come back, another look at Casey Blake. He'll be the third man up in the inning. He's already homered twice tonight. Back in Boston, and the Indians on top here 8-6. We proceed to the 7th inning. Rick Sutcliffe and Dave O'Brien, Aaron Andrews with you. And when we started tonight, it was Wells and Bird with 306 combined major league wins. Now it's Kyle Snyder and Jason Davis with a combined 22 major league wins, and yet now is when it turns into a pitcher's duel. So go figure. And they are going after each other with the strikeouts piling up. Here's Hafner. In fact, Snyder struck out the side in the 6th inning. And Hafner, one of the toughest outs in the American League. An RBI double. He scored a run, making a charge at 300. And 30 homers and 100 RBIs for the number 3 hitter for the Indians. Ground ball right at Cora. Hardly had to move and gets it on away. Timeout for SportsCenter 30-30. We go back to the studio and Bill Pito. Bill.
All right, Dave, the biggest name to move on trade deadline day. Greg Maddux going from the Cubs to the Dodgers for Cesar Izturis. Maddux started the year 5-0, but has gone only 4-11 since. Alfonso Soriano not traded today. And the Phillies chase Utley 1 for 3 in the Marlins 15-2 rout of Philly today. Utley now has a 32-game hitting streak. Constant updates on ESPN News and mobile ESPN. Next SportsCenter 11 p.m. Eastern.
All right, thank you, Bill. 32 straight for Chase Utley. A single today for the Philadelphia Phillies. Martinez looks at his right.
That's remarkable, particularly with, the Florida Marlins have ended a lot of hitting streaks this year. I remember Renteria, they stopped his. And then Utley played in a doubleheader and got hits in both of those games. Still playing hard. Bobby Abreu gone. This guy gone. That guy gone. What a player.
It's a night at Fenway Park in Boston. The opening game of the series between the Indians and the Red Sox, a 4-game series. Monday Night Baseball presented by Holiday Inn. A pleasure to have you along with us. Certainly wish you were here in person. But the ballpark only holds about 35,000, so that would be too many.
You know what, though? If you've never been, you got to try to find a way to get here. I mean, in the American League, it's Fenway, obviously. The National League, it's Wrigley. This is truly a special place, and it lights up when you make an announcement that Red Sox are going to play a game.
Martinez tops that one toward first, but foul on the night. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run, as the Indians have an 8-6 lead.
It's really kind of an extended spring training the last 2 months to me for these Cleveland Indians. Martinez, he's going to play some first base. You're going to look at Carmona to see if he can close. Inglet and Luno battle it out at second. They just acquired Chu. He's going to be playing out there in right field. Marte, who we see tonight, can he play third base? And Kelly Shoppe, he's going to be behind home plate. Can he catch every day?
Martinez getting a look at first base. It's a high fly down toward the direction of the pesky pole. It's only 302 feet away, and Sut Talking about the retooling also being done right around this time by the Cleveland Indians. We bring in Aaron Andrews. How about the attitude in the clubhouse, Aaron? Because they've done an awful lot of losing in order to get to the retooling.
Absolutely, OB. And Eric Wedge, their manager, actually echoing what Rick Sutcliffe just had to say. New faces. This is our chance to see what they can do, just like Sut said, an extended spring training, if you will. And they're going to prove to see what they need to do to build for next year. Eric Wedge also said,
a line drive right at Manny Ramirez and an easy catch for out number 2.
He also mentioned Eric Wedge saying the fact that this has been such a humbling experience for him this season. He's basically learned you have to do something every single year to get better, and that's what they're trying to do, like Rick said. Try these new faces out, see what can happen for next year, guys.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, they only missed the postseason last year by 2 games. You remember what happened right down there at the end. But then, in the offseason, they took a step back. I mean, they couldn't bring in Millwood. They lost Howery, and now look at the trades that they have made.
And this is just since June 30th. Ben Broussard, Ronnie Belliard, Eduardo Perez, and others, and youngsters, as you mentioned, like Marte, getting a chance in the second half to play regularly for Cleveland to see if they are the next stars.
You know, and Ramirez and Cabrera, I mean, you know, those are young guys. It's going to be 2 or 3 years before they can have an impact at this level.
Blake, who has homered twice tonight, rolls it to Cora, who guns him down. And it's another good inning for Kyle Snyder. 1, 2, 3 they go. Time to stretch here at Fenway Park. We're in the middle of the 7th inning. We're going to talk about clutch hitting and Big Papi. Well, you talk the clutch, you have to talk about this guy when we come back. Terry Francona and the Red Sox wondering if they have a comeback in them tonight. They're down 8-6 at the hands of the Cleveland Indians. David Ortiz 3 batters away. It's the top of the order, and Youkilis, then Loretta, then Big Papi, and then Manny Ramirez if the inning is still cooking for Boston. Cold night so far for Youkilis, 0 for 3. Pumped in there for a strike, and of course Ortiz, one of the best hitters in the clutch in recent history in Major League Baseball. And will tonight be another night for late game heroics for the designated hitter. 13 home runs for him in the month of July, including another one tonight. Up and away.
Just going back to the last 3 years without what he's done this year. For, I mean, 678 runs scored or driven in. 678 for Big Papi. And that's not even adding this year's.
In for a strike on Youkilis. The Indians have activity in the bullpen.
Betancourt up and thrown. He was a part of the bullpen for him, of course, last year.
Youkilis, by the way, with 62 strike hits this season in the American League. Only Ichiro, 61, has more. Tried to hold up, went after it, and he is out on strike 3. One man out here in the 7th inning for Boston. David Ortiz with 2 walk-off home runs this season. On June 11th against Texas, he took Oscar deep in the 9th inning. Oscar having an outstanding year. Then on June 24th against Philadelphia, he struck again against another guy having a big year, Tom Gordon, that in the 10th inning.
Otsuka has been outstanding. In fact, he was so good, he replaced Cordero for Texas. And Tom Gordon, he's been great for a while now. And Big Papi walked off on both of them.
Loretta 1 for 3 tonight with a single in the 1st inning. Since then, he has popped out to first and fly to center. A day after surviving a bevy of wild trade rumors here at Fenway Park. Again, not to say that Loretta wasn't considered in some trades. A lot of clubs would like to have a 300 hitting second baseman like Loretta, but
with great hands, quick at turning the double play. A Northwestern grad. And he too, I mean, nobody's the clutch hitter that Big Papi is. But Mark Loretta has had some timely hits. His first homer this year was a walk-off winner.
Well, Ortiz certainly in a class by himself. I think you could argue that's in there for strike 3. Pinned to the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts by Davis, who is pretty near unhittable right now.
Well, how about the difference between the starters and the relievers? 8 2/3 innings pitched, 14 runs, 17 hits for the starters. The relievers tonight, 5 innings, 0 runs, 2 hits, 7 Ks. Wow.
Well, you know where the MVP vote is going if the Red Sox fans were allowed to take it. Leading the majors this summer with 2-out RBIs. He led all of baseball in that category last season. And just has that knack. As he takes a strike in the outside corner and did not like the call there from C.B. Bucknor.
Everybody first started to get to know about him back in 04 when he was the MVP of the American League Championship Series. Since then, he just continues to add to the great numbers that he has put up in the clutch.
And look at the 31 RBIs in the 7th inning or later. That's the separating factor with Ortiz. He's piled up 102 runs batted in already this season, but so many were huge for Boston in what turned out to be victories.
You know, too, and with all those runs driven in and scored, his ability to play every day. 159 games last year. Sure, he's a designated hitter, but you're still hitting, you're still running.
Bases empty, 2 down. Little liner down into the left field corner, and that's a fair ball. That'll bounce around at the 3:10 marker, and Ortiz will trot into second with a double. And for the second time in 3 days, he's beaten the shift.
What makes him so good and what makes them so good, you're about to see. 0-2, he's in the hole. He's just trying to battle to put it in play. Well, he's so strong that when he puts the bat on the ball, even if it was a check swing, the ball goes all the way into the corner. It's a double for David Ortiz. You're looking at 2 outs, but you're also got to look at the tying run coming to home plate. And yeah, you can hear the crowd with him standing on second. Here comes Manny.
Well, Manny with a home run, a 2-run shot in the first inning. A towering drive up and over everything. Betancourt still loosening up in the Cleveland pen. But Ortiz coming through again. Not with a game-winning RBI or a go-ahead RBI, but comes up with a big 2-out double. And now that allows the tying run to come to bat in Manny Ramirez, who is hitting 16 straight games. Fouled away. A little bit of a late cut there in the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. We go back to the first inning.
Well, this swing here is going to look a lot like the last one you just saw. The difference, he connected there. That 2-run homer gave them a 2-run lead. Look at his partner in crime there, David Ortiz. He just missed that last pitch for another 2-run homer.
2 out, men in scoring position. He's only hitting about .350. Ortiz at second, fouled away again. And that'll make the seats off to the right behind home plate.
I'm impressed with Davis. He obviously, you feel pretty good at 99 when, you know, throwing strikes with it, but he just keeps coming right at Manny Ramirez.
11 the ball and strike total.
Oh my goodness, 33 of the 44. Pounding that strike zone with a good fastball, and he's shown that he can throw a breaking ball when he needs to. Let's see if he thinks about that here.
The 0-2 too high.
That's a tough take at 100 miles an hour. Wow, that's a tough take. Just above the K zone here. We'll take a look at it. There's the glove right where he wanted it. Boy, it sets up a lot of things here.
Inside, right around that Red Sox logo. 2-2.
Manny needs to have him some armor here. Get all that stuff on your left elbow, just leave it there. But he does not. Duck back out of the way of that. I mean, this is a battle. This is why you play in front of consecutive sellout crowds, because you can do the things that Manny Ramirez has done.
just outside. The count fills up 3-2.
That was a breaking ball there. To me, it just missed the outside corner. Wow. If he was able to throw that for a strike, I think that would have been a call for a strike. No way you can hit that and also hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Look at them on their feet. You want to know why this place is always sold out? It's fun.
2 down. Ortiz at second. Davis will step off.
And I like what Davis is doing here. Don't just go with what's put down. Make sure you're 100% committed to whatever it is you're going to do here.
Bounced it right by everybody. Ortiz will roll on into third. And it's ball 4 to Manny Ramirez. They're safe on the corners for the Red Sox. And Mike Lowell coming up now with an opportunity where an extra base hit could tie it up here for Boston.
An opportunity here for a manager to make a move. You got a 2-run lead, you give up a 3-run homer, you're going to be behind. That's what happened in the top of the 5th. And that's not what's going to happen here. I mean, something came undone right there. You wonder why this guy's not dominated in the past as he did tonight. That last pitch right there, this crowd got inside of that young man's head, and he just simply, I mean, that wire connected from the body to the brain, it sprung a leak there. There you go. Tell him he did a great job. Make him feel good about himself. Chance to win.
Came in with a 5.19 ERA and brought it down in 2 2/3 scoreless innings. Well, at times, Jason Davis with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball was very, very impressive, but he leaves behind some trouble. Ortiz on at third, Manny Ramirez at first base. Rafael Betancourt comes on to relieve. Former Boston Red Sox farmhand, never pitched in the majors for the Red Sox.
He was a big part of the Cleveland Indian bullpen, though, a year ago when they were the best bullpen in the American League, putting up good numbers once again. Don't let that 0-3 record fool you. Look at the innings, look at the walks, look at the strikeouts.
He'll be looking at Mike Lowell now. Lowell 0 for 3 tonight with a pair of flies to the outfield and a ground out to short. Ortiz and Ramirez, Batman and Robin on the bases for Boston. Red Sox down 2 in the 7th. And the first one misses outside for ball 1. It's the first time Lowell has ever faced Rafael Betancourt. Been a good year for extra base hits for Lowell, bouncing back from an off season. His last year with the Florida Marlins, 13 homers, 37 doubles. The 1-0. He takes it down low, and it's 2-0.
I'm not surprised that he's being real careful here with Lowell. Lowell with all the doubles and the outstanding comeback year that he has had. Jason Varitek is not in the on-deck circle. We talked about earlier. He came out of the game. Doug Mirabelli is there. Mirabelli hitting 182 coming into play tonight. 0 for 2 off Betancourt with 2 strikeouts. You're going to be careful with Mike Lowell.
Lowell swings and pops it up over second base into short center. Luna and Peralta there. Peralta puts it away. And that's the end of the Boston threat. They will strand 2 here in the 7th inning. Lowell does not come through in the clutch at the end of 7. 8-6 Cleveland. We've seen a shot or 2 land onto the street outside Fenway Park tonight. It's been that kind of an evening. With a total of 20 hits and 14 runs, the Indians have had the better of it. As we move ahead to the 8th inning, Rick Sutcliffe, Dave O'Brien, Aaron Andrews with you from Fenway. Johnny Peralta leading things off here against Snyder. Has been very sharp since entering the contest. David Wells went 4 2/3, giving up 8 earned runs on 8 hits in his return to the Red Sox rotation. His first start since May 26th.
Put that overhead shot with the traffic, and you talking about home runs leaving the ballpark. It made me think of, it didn't hit anybody.
And Blake hit an absolute bomb in the 2nd inning. Manny Ramirez with a a deeper drive in the first inning, his 2-run homer. Willie Mo Pena knocked one out onto the street as well tonight. He's a double away from hitting for the cycle.
Peralta was a big home run guy. In fact, set a club record for homers for a shortstop. Peralta did. Willie Mo Pena getting an opportunity now. He's going to have a good opportunity to play every day. But the home run total down for Peralta this year. He's hitting down in the lineup compared to where he was a year ago. Last season, you can see that closing in on 400 at bats.
The 2-2 waved and missed. He struck him out. One gone in the 8th inning. You wonder if Papelbon will get a chance to close tonight. The Red Sox are down 2 moving into the late stages. But how about the bevy of rookies? Verlander with the Detroit Tigers. Yeah, they're pitching rich. He's a big reason for it. Jered Weaver's just been tremendous, starting out with 7 consecutive wins. Liriano has been spectacular. But Papelbon, you could argue, the best closer in baseball.
You know what? And to me, the key is that all of them are having impacts on playoff teams. Every one of them is very, very important. And it's almost to the point right now when you look at all the success that they're having, you don't see them slowing down any. Let's just give away 4 awards this year.
Making a run at the major league rookie save record. It looks like he will obliterate that. As you look at some numbers, some stats on all 4. 29 saves for Papelbon. Liriano 12-2. Look at that minuscule ERA. Verlander 13-4. Tied for the most in the majors. And Jim Leyland's staff, which has been phenomenal. And Weaver won his first 7 career starts. Best start by a rookie since '81.
Yeah, the only one he didn't have was when he pitched here a couple of days ago, that being for Weaver. Liriano and Verlander, I'll never forget last year.
Little pop-up in the right. Willie Mo Pena trots in, makes the catch on Luna. 2 down.
You were there. You called the game, the Futures game. On ESPN, the 2 starting pitchers in the Futures game were Verlander and Liriano. When you want to see the future of baseball, that's a pretty good game to watch. And that kid there has a brilliant future for the Boston Red Sox.
He's confident enough to give it right back to the groundskeeper here at Fenway Park yesterday, saying that, you know, it's playing more like a rough out there. It should play like a fairway. Make it a little smoother.
He's a great kid, man. He's so much fun. So respectful.
Fly it again to Pena. Moving back this time, and Willie Mo is there to turn and make the catch. He's becoming the people's choice here to Pac Fenway, where there are 36,387 on hand, hoping to see Willie Mo Pena bat for the cycle. He can do it with a double when he comes up.
A catcher.
Well, Red Sox fans are hanging on every pitch as we get set for the last half of the 8th inning, so it's getting late. If Boston has a comeback in mind, 8-6 Cleveland. It'll be Mirabelli, Coco Crisp, and then Willie Mo Pena coming up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Doug Mirabelli, who came on with an opportunity to do a little damage, doubled in the 3rd inning. He had to come in because Varitek tweaked a knee on a play rounding second base and had to leave the contest.
Yeah, but it was Betancourt that had to come in to put out the fire there in the bottom of the 7th. And he was able to do that, getting an infield pop-up off the bat of Mike Lowell.
The right-hander with an 0-1 pitch. Dropped it low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Take a look at K-zone here. We talked about the small strike zone. Home plate umpire C.B. Buckner. It's small. And that ball is 2 inches above the knee right down the middle.
It's a great pitch. Here's the 1-1. Foul back. Mike Timlin loosening for Boston.
Well, you got to do that. You got to. I mean, Snyder may be out of bullets, whatever. You got to put a 0 up in the top of the 9th because of the fact that Big Papi doubled and Manny walked. Now you go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th inning here. Then you got 1, 2, 3 going up with Loretta. If anybody can get on Big Papi could come up as that tying run, but you've got to hold them where they're at now.
Betancourt with a 1-2. Swing and a miss. He blew him away. Let's take a look at Game Track now and see how we got to this point. Early home runs did it. In fact, Casey Blake has a pair of home runs and 5 RBIs as he got to Boomer Wells pretty early. Manny Ramirez bounced back with a 2-run homer in the first inning, though, for the Boston Red Sox. He drove it up and over everything onto the street over the Green Monster. Big Papi out of number 36 in the Red Sox comeback. A line shot to right field. And early on, it was a game of home runs. Since then, the pitching has dominated with a lot of strikeouts out of the relief corps. Crisp on the night, 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. So inside Fenway Park, the 275th consecutive sellout here. It's the Indians and the Red Sox presented by Holiday Inn on Monday Night Baseball. Dave O'Brien, Rick Sutcliffe, and Aaron Andrews with you on a lovely July night on a big day of trades in baseball. Right at the trade deadline, a bevy of moves. We'll have those for you on ESPN, every single one of them.
Not really the type of activity, though, that I think we all anticipated.
Not in terms of the weight of the names. Soriano in particular was not traded. Maddox, that trade had happened a couple of years ago. It's a much bigger trade, obviously, as he goes to the Dodgers. Yeah, I think you're right. Probably a lot of trades with mid-level moves. Did he hold up the appeal? And he did, according to Mark Carlson. 2-1 on Crisp.
Take a look at it here, just trying to get on base. Borderline. Favoring the hometown team.
Willie Mo Pena on deck.
I really thought there was going to be some big name pitchers that moved around. Maybe some Mark Pryors and guys like that maybe just would be given a change of scenery.
2-1 fouled away. Now all even on Crisp. You wonder, had the Red Sox sent David Wells down to AAA and seen him pitch similarly to the way he did tonight, which is not well, would they have gone after someone like a Mark Pryor at the trade deadline? Hindsight is always 20/20, but you wonder if the Red Sox are going to kick themselves.
It's hindsight too, but it's a look into the future. I mean, they've spent a lot of time drafting, developing these good young arms, and you can't blame them for not wanting to part with them.
2-2 flying into left center field, fairly well hit, but Sizemore has a beat on it, taps that thigh and makes the catch. Out number 2. Here's the Sports Center in-game update. We're talking about Mark Pryor. We joined Bill Pito. Bill, take it away.
All right, Dave. Mark Pryor and the Cubs against Arizona. Don't forget about the D-backs. Only a game and a half out in the wild card, a game and a half out in the NL West. Orlando Hudson a grand slam. He's since added a 2-run home run. D-backs up big, 9-3.
Did I happen to mention I didn't think it was a very good idea to go after Mark Pryor at this point for the Red Sox? I want to be on record on that one. Obviously knocked around today, giving up the grand slam. And meanwhile, here in Boston, here's Willie Mo Pena trying to hit for the cycle. Red Sox have not had a man do that on their side for 10 years since John Valentin did it. He doubles here, he gets it. And he takes a strike. Willie Mo Pena with a 2-run triple in the second inning. A massive home run, a monster shot in the 4th inning to left. That home run is 5th, and he also singled in the 6th inning.
This ballpark is built for doubles. Put a little green mark on it, and that big monster.
Foul back, and it's 0-2. When you see home run swings like the one Willie Mo took in the 2nd inning, it begs the question, how do you not play him every day? Because that's where it went, and up and up and up into the night and onto the street. Grounded foul, yanked into the dugout of the Cleveland Indians. 2 men have hit for the cycle in the majors this season. Both in losing causes, by the way. Jose Reyes and Luke Scott. Scott just last Friday with Houston. Reyes with an opportunity to do it several times in his career with his tremendous speed. The triple's the easy one for Jose.
Doug Mirabelli will never have a cycle. Well, if he didn't get a triple on that one tonight.
You're exactly right. The 0-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. The Red Sox scored in each of the first 4 innings, but have been blanked in the last 4. The pitching's been too good. 8-6 Cleveland. July night where it is 8-6 Cleveland, and the score has been frozen there since the top half of the 5th inning after the Indians scored 3 times to take the lead on the second of 2 home runs by Casey Blake. Andy Marte will lead things off here for the Indians, the number 9 hitter. Now he came to Cleveland from Boston in a Coco Crisp deal back in January. The Red Sox got him from Atlanta in the Edgar Renteria trade, so twice by the age of 22 he's been traded. He spent all of 50 days in the Boston organization, and Red Sox manager Terry Francona never saw him play an inning, never even spoke to Marte. He said before the series, I hope he goes 0 for 12 in the series. Sort of half kidding.
0 for 3.
Yes.
Looks like he's on his way to 0 for 4.
1 for 2 and 1 and 2 the count here. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
I saw his numbers at the minor league level. I had 19 errors down there. He's already made a couple of errors, and there are a couple of big holes in this young man's swing right now. Some big power.
He will take a seat. He is 0 for 4. Well, the 9th inning, usually Papelbon's inning. We go to Aaron Andrews, and he's a very, very popular guy. They can tell you that.
I was going to try to trick you guys. I was going to say, who do you think has had the most popular jersey?
I'll bet it's Jonathan Papelbon.
Oh, turn around.
Here it is, guys. The big 5'8", the most popular jersey right now. And when I talked to Big Papi about it, who was the guy that was selling the most jerseys, he said, hey, I'm glad I've already sold my 2 million. What's the big deal? Apparently, these jerseys very popular with the ladies, which Papelbon doesn't mind, as you guys can imagine.
Ooh, I didn't realize that.
This one, by the way, is not being returned, so.
No, it's yours.
Absolutely.
You wear it, you own it. That's the way it works.
A rival to Grady's ladies? Is that what we're hearing here?
Papelbon with that minuscule earned run average, but a hot-selling jersey here in Boston and throughout New England.
Well, over the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of David Ortiz jerseys here in Boston. We see, we truthfully now we see them all over the country. We see the Red Sox hat more than we've ever seen before. 2004 changed a lot of things for this franchise.
Swing and a miss by Sizemore, who's gone a rather quiet 1 for 4 tonight with a 6th inning single.
And people cannot forget the job that was done that year during the regular season and postseason by that man, Terry Francona. In the postseason.
1-2 check swing foul. I thought he had a great run in the postseason when the Red Sox were down 3-0 to the Yankees. I know a lot of people weren't talking that way, but he was brilliant.
Well, think about the managers that he was up against. First it was Mike Scioscia, then Joe Torre, and Tony La Russa. I mean, that's the cream of the crop.
Just off the outside on Sizemore. 1 man out, bases clean here. 9th inning, 8-6 Cleveland. Snyder has been sharp. David Wells was not. The 2-2 wrap foul hooked down to the right field stands. DHL presents Major League Baseball Hometown Heroes. You can vote for the most outstanding player in each club's history now at MLB.com. 2 franchises battling tonight with tremendous baseball history. You think the Indians, immediately you think, well, that's Bob Feller. 2-2 swung on and missed. Sizemore down on strikes. Snyder taking some off at 82 to get him.
I'll tell you what, though, you get one more out right here, and you talk about the most popular players in franchise history. Well, the most popular guy right now in Boston, if we look at the strikeout here again by Snyder, what a performance by him tonight. But if you get one more out here without a run being scored, and you get somebody on base in the bottom of the 9th inning, well, Big Papi's going to get a swing at it.
Look at how the relief corps in both cases has excelled. Snyder's retired 12 out of 13.
And 5 of them have been via the strikeout. There's strikeouts, and then there's, you know, I mean, you strike out a hitter like Grady Sizemore that he just did.
Guy who came in hitting .302 with 16 home runs. Michaels has swung the bat well tonight. He's 2 for 4. He pops that one, a twister up the right field line. Youkilis giving chase. Behind him, Loretta. Youkilis backpedals to make the catch. Side retired. Snyder gets him 1-2-3. But it's the last chance for the Boston Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the 9th at Fenway. Cora, Youkilis, and Loretta due up 8-6. Cleveland. Bottom of the 9th, and the Red Sox trying to rally here. They have 9-1-2 due up against the new right-hander Fausto Carmona. There is not another member of the Cleveland Indians on the current roster that has a major league save. They traded away Wickman, who had them all. So Carmona coming out of the bullpen. A pen that has converted 15 of 28, just 54%, which is awful.
He can bring it. 22 years of age, born in the Dominican Republic. We've seen a lot of great arms that have come from Santo Domingo. Here's another one. Take a look at the numbers there. I mean, everything looks good other than that big 0 in that save department. And there's saves, and then there's saves like this one could be here if somebody for Boston could get on.
36,387 at a sold-out Fenway Park. And their beloved Sox down to Alex Cora, 0 for 3 tonight. And he takes low for ball 1. The Red Sox at the moment leading the Yankees by half a game in the AL East. The Yankees idle tonight. They take on Toronto with Bobby Abreu in the lineup. The Yankees with their new acquisition tomorrow. The 1-0. Knee high for a strike. Baseball tonight presented by DHL coming your way. And we'll have more from Fenway in our post-game extra on ESPN News. You can join us then. Base hit by Marte into left field. A clean single for Cora. And a fine start in the bottom of the 9th for the Red Sox.
And everybody here at Fenway knows what that means. Without a ground ball double play, Big Papi will get a shot at it. But right now, they're excited about the fact that Kevin Youkilis is at home plate, even though he's 0 for 4 tonight.
He's been roughed up, couple of strikeouts. Big Papi giving the fans just a peek.
Oh, he's been down there in the cage with Ron Jackson. He's been taking his swings. Down there getting loose, getting ready, getting his timing ready for this good fastball.
On the inside edge for a called strike under the hands of Youkilis.
So far, seeing a lot of two-seam fastballs from Carmona. You'll see the movement down and in to a right-hand hitter. And you're seeing, again, a lot of velocity as we saw with Davis and, of course, Betancourt, who we saw last year.
Jason Davis hit 100 a couple of times tonight. Down low, scooped up by Shopik. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But you remember what happened with Davis when he walked Manny Ramirez. This crowd got on their feet. They got loud. And all of a sudden, he wasn't doing what he did to get to that point. This crowd right now has got to do their part and try to get inside the head of this 22-year-old right-hander.
Youkilis' own foot, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. You look back just since 2003, walk-off hits, obviously including home runs, but Ortiz leading even the great Albert Pujols and the former Red Sox shortstop Orlando Cabrera. And 6 of those 11 for Big Papi are home runs. He's a couple of hitters away. The 1-2. Just low. All even on Youkilis.
Man, that's such a good take there. That guy throwing so hard on the mound. Youkilis has never faced him before. Carmona came up last year a couple of times for Cleveland, but never got into a game. As recalled on September the 12th, but because they were in the pennant race, the opportunity to pitch didn't happen.
Another one into the dirt, stopped by Shopwick, and the count fills up now, 3-2, with a runner at first.
Here we go. It's going to get real loud here because of how far he missed with that last fastball. Uke is right back in the crowd, in the count. The crowd getting loud. Kelly Shopwick saying, wait a minute, boys. Let's go. Let's get back out here and do what you did to begin with. Everything's fine. And nothing else. That's kind of like a timeout in the NBA. Try to get the crowd to settle down. But that doesn't work here at Fenway these days.
Carmona trying to learn how to close. Trying to learn on the job. The 3-2. Rattle foul off to the left by Youkilis. Mark Loretta, the on-deck hitter, with only 3 home runs all season, but back on April 17th, one of his home runs was a walk-off shot here at Fenway. Big Papi lurking. Carmona, the 3-2. Down low for ball 4. He walked it. Runners at first and second, and Loretta coming up with Ortiz right behind him.
Probably a big reason he started the All-Star game for the American League at second base was right here. April the 17th. You see the score, 6-5 Seattle. You see the celebration at home plate. The first home run of the year for Mark Loretta for Boston.
That was off of Eddie Guardado of Seattle as the Sox won at 7-6. You could tell that Loretta does not hit a lot of home runs. He went into the pack still wearing that helmet, which they pounded down into his head.
Well, you got a decision here right now for Terry Francona. We got the walk-off homer. You know the ability's there, but you've also got 2 men on and nobody out, and you're down by 2. I've seen Mark Loretta over the years. He's not a great bunter. He doesn't particularly enjoy bunting. Only 1 sacrifice this year. In fact, only 13 for the whole Boston Red Sox team.
Just about everybody on their feet at Fenway.
Everybody on the infield way in defensively.
Not bunting, and it's high for ball.
And a lot of people right now, a lot of baseball people, all the high school coaches are saying, what are you doing? The book says bunt. Well, you know what? Mark Loretta's not a good bunter. He's a good hitter. I totally agree. I know what's going to work out. Terry Francona, to me, is giving Mark Loretta the best chance that he has to succeed.
Boston with 30 comeback wins, second most in the American League. Their last victory, in fact, was Saturday. They were down 6-3 in the 8th. Tied at 6-6 and then won it in the 11th on a David Ortiz hit.
This could be a mess defensively for Cleveland. You got a young third baseman. You got a new second baseman. First game. You got a catcher playing first. You got a young pitcher.
Swing popped him off. Over second. Peralta, the shortstop, into the outfield. Has it. A huge out for the Cleveland Indians. And Fausto Carmona. He gets Loretta. Although here comes David Ortiz, 1 man out in the 9th. And one of our themes tonight centered on great clutch hitting. And on David Ortiz, who has already bashed a home run and a double in this contest.
I don't look for a double here. And the Red Sox obviously not hoping for a double play, because Big Papi has said the reason that he gets a lot of clutch hits, he doesn't like extra innings. A double would just tie the score.
That's right. 7 career walk-off home runs. Down and in for ball 1. We were in the bottom of the 9th inning, 1 down. The Red Sox trailing 8-6 in the opener of the series. Cora at second, Youkilis at first. And the Indians thinking about a game-ending double play. Ortiz has other thoughts in mind. Just outside. We peek at K-zone to count 2-0.
He's really been all over the place. Loretta had a good pitch to hit, but it was so hard. He wasn't able to do anything with it. Big Papi. I mean, he says the key to clutch hitting is the fact that you swing at pitches that are strikes. He does that a lot.
Swinging a shot center field. Sizemore racing back, turning around, it sails. He did it again! He did it again! Ortiz has won it! Boston wins it 9-8. Goodness gracious!
Why don't they all just jump on his back? He's carried this ball club for 3.5 years now. I mean, that's amazing. That's unbelievable. He never faced that guy before. The guy's throwing 100. In the first pitch he sees in the strike zone, he hits a walk-off home run again.
For the 8th time in his career, David Ortiz blasting it to center field. As the fans at Fenway chant MVP, MVP. And the Indians are stunned and the Red Sox have won it 9-8. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews with the hero again, Big Papi, David Ortiz.
All right, OB. Well, right before you hit that, Tim Wakefield turned around and looked at me, and he said, I bet he goes yard. What is it about you in these clutch situations, Papi?
I think, concentration. That's what it's all about.
Take us through that at-bat there.
Got to bring your best, Running out of chances, so there are not too many choices.
And finally, the resiliency of this team. Why have you guys been able to come back in so many situations so far?
Well, we got guys capable to get on base, so that's all we need.
A lot of anxiety before the game tonight with the trade rumors, what the Yankees did yesterday. How was the mood in that dugout throughout the game?
Well, everybody just chilling out. Everybody happy to stay together here. Nobody went away. So, like I said, we're going to stay as a group.
They're chanting MVP. Enjoy it, Papi.
I like that.
Well, they could have woke up tomorrow in second place, percentage points behind the New York Yankees. But with one swing of the bat, the Boston Red Sox will wake up again in first place.
Well, I know this. I've never seen a better clutch hitter. Certainly not recently. Here's K-zone and Carmona's pitch.
The first pitch that he threw in the strike zone was the first time that David Ortiz took the bat off his shoulder. And when he did, he took the baseball into the bleachers in dead center field. He told us earlier this year he doesn't like extra innings.
He hates them. He has perfected the walk-off home run, however. Yet again, this one to dead center field. And the Red Sox pull it out by a final score of 9-8. A 3-run homer to break the heart of Fausto Carmona, who still has some work to do learning how to be a closer. But when it comes to being the hero, Ortiz knows all about that role.
One of the things we did tonight was on clutch hitting, and you think about Kirk Hip Gibson, you think about Joe Carter, Bill Mazeroski, what they did in the World Series. I mean, there have been guys that have done it, but I've never seen anybody as consistently doing it like Big Papi.
When he steps in a situation like that, and everybody in the ballpark and everybody in the press box expects him to do that, and he delivers it time and time again. By the way, his 14th home run to close the month of July.
Well, and who he's doing it against, as we saw earlier. One of them was off of Akinori Otsuka. He didn't have a blown save up to that point. Tom Gordon has been outstanding. And now a guy on the mound that he's never seen. There's going to be a lot of people tomorrow morning in Boston. They're going to be late to work, but they'll have a great story to tell.
Kyle Snyder with one of the great victories he will ever have. Our final score, what a ball game. The Red Sox 9 and Cleveland 8. For Rick Sutcliffe and Aaron Andrews and our entire crew here in Boston, I'm Dave O'Brien saying goodnight from Fenway Park. An absolute thriller as Big Papi strikes again, a walk-off 3-run homer. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night, everybody.